In this video, we're going to be going over a very important crypto starter guide. This is for people that are new, getting into it, don't know too much, and just very confused about where to start. Let's get into it. First, I have to say this is not financial advice whatsoever. Everything I say in this video is my own opinion, heavy bias included. And at the end of the day, you need to think for yourself and fully make decisions based on what you think is best. This is simply for educational purposes only. So the first requirement is that you need to be able to research each of the steps that I'm about to mention. This is a very generalized video. It's only going to skim the surface. So you're probably gonna have extra questions. So you need to be able to research each of these steps on your own, whether you're looking for tutorials on how to do something, or you can also join our Discord down below, and we're gonna be talking a lot in there over the coming months. So you may be able to get your questions answered in there as well. So before I go into some more important aspects, we're gonna get into the bare bones of how do we get cryptocurrency. So first you have to get fiat or cash into the cryptoverse. So we have to create a centralized exchange account and do the Know Your Customer verification, or KYC. This right here is a list of the most popular centralized cryptocurrency exchanges. If you're in the US, either Coinbase or Binance will probably be your best bet, but there are plenty of options here that should cover the majority of jurisdictions that you guys are in. So do some research, pick the best one based on where you're at, and link your bank account or any payment method to the exchange. Now, there are other methods. You can pay with a debit or credit card using services like MoonPay, but generally the fees are gonna be a lot worse than if you just create a centralized exchange account, which still have their own fees. And then there's things like Bitcoin ATMs, which I've actually never used. I don't really know how they work. I know they do have a premium on them, but I just thought I'd mention that as well. So generally, if you've linked your bank account, you're gonna deposit your native currency, in this case, USD. At this point, you can buy crypto on the centralized exchange if that exchange has what you're looking for, which most of the times they will, especially in the beginning. It depends on what you're buying, but a great way to accumulate certain altcoins that may generate life-changing gains sometimes are not going to be available at this stages of the bull market on centralized exchanges. So what you can do is basically buy stable coins on your centralized exchange. This is USDT, Tether, or USDC, Coinbase's native stablecoin. And you can withdraw these stable coins from your main exchange account to another exchange such as MEXC or CoinEx. There's a lot of them. Be very careful. Exchanges go down every bull market cycle. Having all your money on an exchange is not the point of cryptocurrency itself. It's about self-custody. Just be very wary of the exchanges you're dealing with and quickly learn how to get your tokens from an exchange to your own wallet. But yeah, so basically you can use stable coins, send them to other exchanges, and accumulate altcoins that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. So now let's get into some more aspects of what we think is required to do well in cryptocurrency during this upcoming bull market phase. So you need knowledge. You need to be researching to one degree or another. You need to understand how some of these things work, how the tech works, what the overall sentiment is, the psychology behind why people want this, the little economic context that is going to drive this bull market forward and bring it to fruition, which includes but isn't limited to the Bitcoin halving, the Bitcoin spot ETFs, the Federal Reserve reducing interest rates, and just many other factors. If you gain enough knowledge, generally you'll understand how to acquire these assets, and you'll have a degree of conviction because you've actually researched some of the economic cycles to degrees. You start to understand how the tech works. You understand how these boom and bust phases go. Then you're gonna have some strong conviction that Bitcoin is gonna hit an all-time high. Once you have this conviction, you just need to create a plan that's conducive to you. And this is gonna vary widely based on a multitude of personal reasons, whether it's your age, your experience, how much money you're investing, what your actual goal is. And so once you have a plan to accumulate and take profit, all that's left is action, is to do the thing. And that's what you're doing right now. You're watching this video to learn, and hopefully you will continue to take action and reap some amazing fruits here. The next point is you want to have at least a 1 to 2 year time horizon minimum. I would generally say 4 years because that's about the time span of these cycles, but we're kind of entering a bull market right now. Some people argue the bull market is actually already 30% of the way through, and it's quite possible that's actually the case. The bull market peak in the past has happened 12 to 18 months after the Bitcoin halving, which is in this April, about 3.5, 4 months away. So if we know that the time to exit is going to be sometime 12 to 18 months after the Bitcoin halving, and if we want to have a conservative approach and understand that what happened in the past might not happen this time, then we want to even increase that time span a little bit and be taking profits even a little bit earlier than that. So that's why I say a 1 to 2 year time horizon minimum is key. This is a shorter long-term investment play right now because the bull market is really starting to heat up, and it's really getting ready for epic bull season, although we may have some downwards action at the beginning of this year, and we'll just see. Next point is only invest what you can afford to lose. You've probably already heard this before, and it's very, very true. If you're investing money that you might have to touch in less than a year or two, you're probably going to end up making an emotional decision, and you're going against the general investment strategy of having at least a 1 to 2 year time horizon. This isn't money you're supposed to touch. You have to let the thing happen. You have to put it somewhere, have conviction, have a degree of foresight, and let the thing play its course. You can't need to come and grab it for any X reason. So only invest what you can afford to lose is going to be the best decision to make. And this goes in line with handling emotions. Do you know what you signed up for? Can you watch your entry fade? For example, Bitcoin's looking strong right now, right? Well, if we look at last cycle, Bitcoin was looking really strong right here when it went from 3K all the way up to 14K. What if we are at the top of another similar pre-Bitcoin halving run-up where we had the cycle, we came down into a bear market, we have a run-up before the halving, and then we faded, and we even had a big crash. Could you buy today and watch the same thing play out? I'm not saying it's going to, but I'm saying, are you able to invest money and watch the value go down if this plays out? This is a scenario you have to be aware of and ready for. And if you're not going to make it. So understand what you signed up for. There's a lot of illusion in the cryptocurrency market. The valuations of a lot of these tokens balloon to just absolutely unbelievable levels. And you have to be able to focus and execute your strategy through all of the noise that you're going to hear on social medias and all of these things telling you something to do. The next thing is just learn the tech, right? Do you understand how Bitcoin works to one degree or another? It's very easy to ask ChatGPT or search up a YouTube video or even read the Bitcoin white paper. That's a great place to start. Then you can start researching things like Ethereum and smart contracts and how there's a difference between Bitcoin and how there's a difference between Ethereum and how they operate. So that's going to be the key place to start. Now you can research coins and tokens on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, which I'll show you right here. This is CoinMarketCap. I use it the most. CoinGecko is essentially the same site, but we're going to look at CoinMarketCap for the moment. So it basically shows a list of cryptocurrencies by their market capitalization, which is basically the current price of the token times the actual circulating supply of the token. That is the market cap or capitalization of the token. And right now, Bitcoin's is $888 billion. So we have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, we have other top 10 layer 1 coins here, such as Solana. And if we're researching coins, we can come in and click on any coin. We can search any ticker symbol up here as well, obviously. And so if we look over here, we see simple data. We see the price, the 1 day change, the market cap, which is always important to look at, the volume, the current circulating supply, which is very, very important, as well as the total and the max supply, because you need to understand some of these aspects of what you're investing in, what is the valuation of what you're investing in, how much money has to come into it for you to see, 100% gain or a 2x. These are all things that you need to understand when buying projects. And then there's links, obviously, to their website, their white paper, and even their social medias. You can also click or scroll down to this About section. So you can read some of the About info here. This is always a decent place to start. And if you're looking to actually accumulate some of the tokens, you can go to the Markets section, and it's going to show you all the different exchanges that certain coins are available on, which will vary quite a bit depending on what you're buying. Back to the other useful resources, crypto Twitter or X is really the main crypto social media. That's where you're going to find a lot of very valuable information, insight, analysis, breaking announcements, if you're following the right pages and turn notifications on and whatnot. But again, there's going to be a lot of noise and scams and just delirious minds making a lot of wild claims as well. And you need to sift through all of this. And also YouTube, there are plenty of videos on just about everything you want to know. And then also you can join a lot of these projects, Discords and Telegrams, and actually chat with some of the founders, team, and community members. Again, join my personal Discord server and we can help guide you on this journey. Another point I want to touch on, the market is run on greed and emotions. This is about psychology, okay? And it's good to have a holistic, analytical perspective of the numbers on one side, as well as a very intuitive understanding of the psychology of the market participants themselves and the way they're going to act and the reasons they're going to do so and the implications that those actions are going to have. If you can understand that, that is massive. Narrative is massive as well, right? What are the narratives being pushed? What's important to the collective? What's important to the people in power? When narratives get hot, coins in those industries start running. Here's just a few narratives I threw down. This is not all of them, and they're in no specific order. We have GPU and distributed compute, AI, gaming, DeFi, which is decentralized finance, layer 1s, which is like their own blockchain. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, those are layer 1 blockchains. And then we have L2s. And ecosystems such as Arbitrum or Optimism are layer 2s that are built on top of Ethereum, which is a layer 1. So there's a difference there. There's a big narrative that ETH scaling, L2s, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot going on here. I think GPU and distributed compute and AI and gaming and actually gambling is a part of gaming as well. But GPU and distributed compute, with where things are headed, and especially with the advancement of AI and just the sheer amount of data that needs to be transferred and called for the operations of the future, I think is just, it's going to keep going up, and GPU demand is going to be high for a while, in my relatively uneducated opinion. So here's a few simple points to touch on. In a bear market, you want a dollar cost average, right? You want to DCA in, basically scale in, buy X amount every week, every day, every month, it doesn't matter, but just scale in at a continuous rate. This leaves a lot of the guesswork and the emotions out of the price fluctuations, and you just get a good solid entry at about the middle of the bear market prices, which is good. It's really low. During the bull market, you want to buy dips aggressively until you're starting to hit your profit targets. So if you're looking at a typical Bitcoin bull run, you can see that anytime you buy a dip, it's recovered within days, if not weeks. You could have bought this dip here, and yeah, it went lower for a few more days, and then we went to a new high. Dip, eaten up, dip, eaten up. Guess what? You could have bought this dip here. If you had conviction that this was still playing out as previous cycles, we still went up to a new high. And again, that's why timing is very important. And that's why most are gonna want to be scaling out 12 to 18 months after the Bitcoin halving. So for the phase we're in right now, Bitcoin hasn't hit an all-time high. Dips are to be bought. Dips are for buying. It's that simple. If you have the conviction that Bitcoin is going to break $68,000, dips are to be bought. If you have the conviction that Bitcoin is going to break an all-time high, in my opinion, most likely during this year of 2024, if not 2025, then we are in a bull market that we genuinely believe is going to go higher. And I would argue, until you genuinely believe that Bitcoin is going to go to an all-time high, you probably have more research to do. And that's the phase you're on, and you need to take care of that as soon as you possibly can if you want to reap any rewards of this cycle. So in my opinion, you have two choices here. If you have no exposure to the space, any time is a good time to get starter positions. We are before the halving, and the Bitcoin spot ETF decision is literally this week. I don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter. We're prepared for both scenarios. If things go higher, we're very happy. If things go lower, we're very happy because we get to buy more at cheaper prices. And we have a goal set for 12 to 18 months, give or take, after the Bitcoin halving. So we're good. The Bitcoin halving isn't here yet. The train has not fully left the station yet. We have time, but we must act with urgency. So, in my opinion, getting a starter position pre-halving is not a horrible idea. The reason this is good is because you're guaranteed an entry. You're guaranteed a seat on the train if you buy. So there's really two choices. I would stick with the first one, and is to get exposure. Owning zero cryptocurrency, in my opinion, is riskier than owning some. Again, I don't know what's going to happen in the short term, especially with this ETF deadline, supposedly this week. We'll see what happens. And you should be prepared for either scenarios, if we fade or if we go up here. And so if you're a newbie and you really want to take the guesswork out of a lot of this, just start averaging in here. Research the projects you're going to invest in and buy X amount every week or every month. And if you want to get a little bit more sophisticated for it, stack your cash a little bit and wait for big dips on the certain projects you want to buy. And that's really not a bad idea. And that generally will do pretty well if you have a plan to take profit. Yeah, and I'll just touch on it again. DCA with the understanding of volatility and portfolio fluctuations. It's gonna be big. If you're not used to cryptocurrency swings, you're gonna get hurt. So yeah, this is it. Accumulate a basket of high conviction plays that you believe in after doing thorough research and critically thinking for yourself, and set profit targets. There's all kinds of methods you can use. I'm not going to tell you which one to use. One of the most beginner friendly methods is to just sell half of your bag on a 2x. So you pull out the initial investment and then you let the rest ride to higher profit targets. And yeah, scale out, dollar cost average out, sell X% at certain profit targets that you need to set based on your own analysis and your own understanding. And again, come chat with us in Discord. Let's bounce ideas off of each other. We're here to learn and we're here to create abundance. And in my opinion, scale out up to 90 to 100% of your portfolio around 12 to 18 weeks post Bitcoin halving, when there's just absolute peak euphoria in the market and there's all kinds of top indicators signaling. Remember guys, delusion will ruin you. If you think something's just going to the moon and you're not going to sell anything until it gets to the certain price, is that you will get absolutely fucked if you do not sell during peak euphoria. So you have to accumulate some coins. I like the strategy of accumulating large cap altcoins first, then mid caps, then micro caps. Here are some large caps to look into, just in no random order. I just threw some of these up. I created this list very quickly. There's a lot more to look into than these, but I decided to just throw some names out for you guys to get started. So by accumulating large caps, they either have been through a bull market cycle, they have a very strong name or branding or team and backers, and they probably have some sort of value proposition or technology that may be beneficial at one point or another. So a lot of these generally can guarantee somewhere between like a 3 to 8x, if not even more. We've seen Solana up already over 12x this year. But what I'm saying is a great way to start investing in cryptocurrency is to just build some exposure to these, some safer picks, in my opinion. Then, we have some mid caps you can look into and some smaller market caps and even some meme coins if you're that big of a degenerate. But I would hold off on these until later. What's wild about meme coins is that they're relevant, and that's a whole nother video to get into. But it's just, I would start up here first, but I'm not going to sit here and discount some of these meme coins. And so the key is to accumulate your coins, send them to a cold storage wallet or a hot wallet, meaning a wallet that you have created, that you have the password to or the seed phrase to. This is what cryptocurrency is about. It's about self-custodying your own digital assets as a sovereign individual. And so some of these wallets, Trezor or Ledger are popular cold storage wallets. Those are cold storage is going to be the safest option. And then you have MetaMask, Phantom, any mainnet hot wallet that's connected to the internet, but still only your seed phrase controls. Hold these coins in this safe place. Keep your seed phrase, your password to your wallets very, very safe. Don't ever share it with anyone. And take profit. Take profit when everyone else is maximally greedy. Last point, scammers everywhere. Don't trust any links, DMs, never get out a seed phrase. I don't care if I blast out a link in my official Discord. You should look at it every single time, highly analyze it, because what if I got hacked? Who knows? These things happen all the time. With that being said, the video is over. Hopefully you guys gained some value. If you have any questions, drop them down below, but more importantly, come join our Discord. We're gonna be crushing it and already beyond grateful for what has happened so far. And I'm already beyond grateful for what is to come because my conviction is just so absurdly high, which is quite shocking to me. It's quite crazy and I'm loving it. It seems that we're gearing up for 2024 to be the best year ever. If you want to take part in this magical journey, join our Discord. We're gonna have a lot of fun this year and we're gonna make progression mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. So join up, let's see what happens. Let's become better people. You're telling me that whole little spiel is out of focus? Wow, peace, unreal.